is like, okay, I'm not questioning the concept. It is okay, it is very clear. We have been following it, but it is actually intuitively very difficult to accept. Um, the reason being that now the actors, the victim and the perpetuator can happen at various levels. It is not the question of, the rape and murder. It can happen at various levels. And every point of a time, when you consider yourself as a victim or you have been insulted or belittled or whatever, right? And immediately go and take it as it is and then, ask for forgiveness from the other person or take it as, okay, no, it is my fault, is kind of like, intuitively difficult to accept. That is my comment.
I will agree, but then he also very clearly says that there are two perspectives to everything.
Yeah.
Right? There is one which is the physical perspective. There is the second one which is the non-physical perspective. Okay. And when it comes to non-physical perspective, this is planned as per what you have desired. Okay. When it comes to the physical perspective, why did you plan? That becomes the fundamental question that you are going to ask yourself. Why did I plan such an event? You planned because of two scenarios. One, the victim. The victim wanted to experience that extreme circumstance. Okay. Now, the perpetuator, if you consider from his perspective, he accepted it because he wanted to test using his free will whether he is going to go against the principles of love and harm
Compassion.
people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if he is able to stick to it, he does not attract karma. But otherwise, right? It is a lesson not learned. And in either case, what Seth says is there is only progression. From a spiritual perspective, it is a learning and thereby a progression.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
he clearly says, like in Bhagavad Gita, he says we physically in physical world in physical terms we think there is a death and there is a harm, but he says, um, when it comes to animals, they sacrifice all the times. They know what is love and compassion and what is the real. He says, compared to animals, we don't have that knowledge.
Correct.
Animals knows much more. They think, like Krishna said, there is no death.
Yes. And in fact, if you really look into it, I posted two videos yesterday in our same group, in the Seth group. I
Yeah.
don't know how many watched it.
I watched them, sir. Animal warnings.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
do
also
what
did.
the dog in the first snippet did?
Stopping the school bus because
Yes.
there is a hole in the head of in the road.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Would you do it? Would you stand in the way of the bus?
we get scared, yeah, because they have that urge to help the humans.
Exactly. And not
Yeah.
only that, I mean, he even shows in the second case also, right? He goes and
Yeah.
tries to climb onto the car, howling at him, saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
And immediately the mountain, from rubble falls and closes the
Exactly.
road.
See, one is demonstrating their love, and the second one is demonstrating their use of their psychic powers, which we also have. But we are so lost in our day-to-day living that we live under the control of our
Fear. Fear,
One is fear, more than fear, under the control
Ego.
of your ego mind.
ego mind, ego self. Yes.
Right? Which Percival in Thinking and Destiny, he says you have got 7 minds, but you are always controlled by what he calls
Body,
the.
mind, body, mind.
It's a pity. We are so enamored by the emotional or physical existence that we forget what we are, why are we here, all those questions, right? Yeah, that is the answer. Very good question, sir.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
highlighted the entire knowledge.
See, and also one thing it is difficult to understand in this, one acts consciously in F1 state, okay, the perpetrator, but the victim unconsciously, she sends the message
No,
or
that is the
whatever that's,
protocol that is taking place.
yeah,
See, that is where you say Thinking and Destiny as the title, right?
yes,
You are passing thoughts. What are thoughts? They are telepathic signals.
yes. See, that is
Every
what the
thought.
main thing. Yeah, we
Right.
need to understand how careful. That's why Patriji always said, always think positive and miraculously, and have. But this is what nobody taught us until now. Like energy. How our thoughts create so many issues and so many problems.
No, that is another beautiful thing in the audio book. I was listening to it yesterday night in my sleep.
Oh, you mean that thinking and destiny?
No, 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 no,
Nice.
no,
Oh,
no.
this one.
I posted one book today morning.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay.
The book is basically the hidden powers of mantras by Om Swami.
Oh, okay. But I
Okay. The
I know
first
Om
part,
Swami.
the entire book itself
Mm.
is how the universe was created and planet Earth is the place where you need to go for suffering.
Sir, which group did you post it?
It is in Seth group.
You didn't say it, yeah.
Uh, I I don't see it actually. Maybe I
చేత్
missed.
చేత్ గ్రూప్ లో లేదండి.
Yeah, no, no, it is
No,
there.
no, no,
I
sorry,
don't.
not Seth group, in Unified.
Oh, okay.
Unified. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
didn't.
also relevant to our negative influences that we have to identify and let go in the
Oh,
fifth
Ocean
and
of
sixth
PDF.
field.
Oh,
Correct.
Ocean. Okay.
No, no, that
Got
is
it.
the PDF, but before that, there is the Google Drive link also.
Oh,
Where
I see.
you
Okay.
put the
Oh, yeah,
MP3
yeah.
file.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. The ancient science of mantras. Got it.
Correct. So the
Yeah.
origin, the first part beautifully explains what it is, right? How we end up creating and the suffering, etc.
Sir, will you post it in safe group also? Because many of us
Then they
are
say,
not there.
No,
any of you
it is
can
there.
forward it. Why don't you forward it, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah. I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, I have another question.
Hmm.
So when we were trying to, take some examples on past life and current life and the relationship between the two souls, like
Hmm.
we got the examples of a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, swapping the roles, and we have got an example of, I break somebody else's back and in the past life, and this life he comes back and hit me with a scooter and will break my back. That is another example we saw.
Hmm.
So in this case, like, is it like a continuum of learning lessons for two souls?
Yes. See, look at it this way, right? When we are doing unified, I was talking about you have got 35 divine virtues. Whether you like it or not, you have to learn those lessons,
Yeah,
right? That is
yeah,
that is recurring again and again as part of your purpose of life.
Right.
You are also gifted with the free will.
Mm-hmm.
Free will is something that no one can change.
Yeah.
No one can influence. Okay. Now, someone is testing out. Okay. Right. So, under the guise of the free will, till you have completed those lessons,
wisdom of the sages, realize your dreams.
I think somebody.
yeah, that is Bala ma'am's this one. I muted her temporarily. Yeah. So, till that lesson is learnt and completed, it
Mm-hmm.
will keep on repeating.
Yeah.
Okay. What you have learnt becomes your wisdom for your next birth.
Yes.
But again, that is hidden. It is hidden till your consciousness is in a position to accept. Because that energy is higher than the energies with which you are born. How do you raise your energies? You need to be in control of the situation rather than your body mind controlling that situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is the way the whole thing will work.
So I just have a question. So when you come out of this body mind in that situation, so that wisdom will come up in that life.
Yes. See, this what is body mind basically? It is your desire and
Yes,
feeling.
feelings and desire. You are under
Now,
control of feeling and
if
desire.
you have satiated your desire, your
Mhm.
consciousness has gone up by 1 degree.
Yes.
Correct. Once, right? When you are not hungry, let's take a practical example. At home, we prepare a lot of food,
Mhm.
right? And we have had, let us say, 20, 25 visitors in the event. Okay. Now, okay. And that when that event is over, everyone is satiated, you have still got a lot of food left. What do you do with it? You don't keep it.
Yeah.
You don't keep it, right? You
Yeah.
distribute it, right? So, what is that demonstrating? Once your needs are fulfilled, you are in a position to think about others, right? That's
Got
the
it.
way even that is what happens even with our wisdom.
Yes. Yeah, that urge comes to
Correct.
share with others.
Correct.
Yes.
No, we don't think about the existence of others till that moment.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But not bad, Surekha. You are proving lucky. So many people who have joined.
Yes, sir. Masters, anybody else have any questions?
If
Please
you don't
ask.
have questions, I will have questions. Somebody who has read the lesson, please explain.
So maybe we can talk about F1 and F2 frame. And
We
So,
already finished F1,
Yeah, F1
F2.
and F2 was a
We
complete
finished.
chapter.
Yeah, already we
oh,
finished the chapter.
okay, I missed that one. Okay, I'll follow up on it. Thank you.
Basically, it is same thing, Surekha. Physical and non-physical. See,
That's
we
what I
only
thought.
see the
It's,
we only see what is happening in the physical level.
mm,
But
See,
F2
he
is
if you
says,
really
subconscious.
want to look at it, right?
Oh,
F1 is physical entity, F2 is non-physical entity.
so it
Okay.
could be subconscious mind,
Yeah,
F2,
subconscious, unconscious, all of that is
dream,
anything that is
dream.
non-physical,
physical,
please
yeah,
put it into the category of F2.
F2. Yes.
Now, F1 is where the conscious mind will work.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
That is where free will work. So all the circumstances that you have created F1 is for you to use your free will and demonstrate that you are aligned to the qualities of God.
Mm.
Because harming anyone under any circumstance is not acceptable. Right?
Yes, yes.
So that is the way the whole thing will work. So what is he saying? Many people try to minimize F1 because it does not seem magical, because it is a camouflage, and because it has deeper explanation that reside in F2. But F1 is one valid and real aspect of the greater reality. It is real, although camouflage. Your computer is the real, although camouflage. That is just giving. Both are true with no contradiction. In classical science, the wooden table is both solid, while the quantum science tells us that it is non-existence as a table. Both are correct. So what he is saying is you need to utilize your wisdom on how you are going to perceive something. As we created F1 to be different from F2, and those differences that we need are of the highest and utmost significance and importance. And the emotions felt in F1 are real. The sufferings and joy and love and hate and humor are real. And the vulnerability is real and crucial to our soul personality, that is the spiritual evolution, to finally leave the reincarnation cycle behind. This is not, I mean, they are not illusions. And crucial to its significance is the needed fact that in F1 people do cause harm and suffering to others, and then all can learn from that to grow. Got it? So what is happening? Now if you take, you create your own reality. That is the acronym that he is using, YCYOR, right? The rapists and killers, the harmers, all play by the you create your own reality. That is what we are doing even in unified group now,
Yes.
right? I have invited you to trouble me,
Yeah.
and you are only playing out the script handed over to you, right?
You
But
you are the script writer.
yeah, exactly. But these rules do not negate the conscious responsibility not to harm others, not to cause their suffering. You get an opportunity, that means you will exploit. What happened to your free will? That's the question he is raising. So, where is the culture of your F2 superimposing itself on your personal F1 as a perpetrator? Got it?
Yes,
Reka? Yeah.
yeah.
So, that F2 is your alignment to the qualities. F1 is the temptations that are thrown in front of you. Right? This is like in Thinking and Destiny, he says every soul is tested, right? By triggering the desire and feeling, whether you will pass or fail. That test is continuing even on the physical earth. Yeah.
Sir, I
And I
have a
think a
question.
little further in the document, they're talking about the victim and perpetuator coming to a contract. Uh,
That
uh,
contract is part of the soul plan.
right. But then
But But what
the
are the lessons each one has to learn that is brought about a contract? It is not one-sided learning, it is two-sided learning.
Right. Here, like perpetuator suddenly comes under the considerations, and then he uses his free will and withdraws from the contract.
Exactly.
As a
Then he
result,
has
depriving.
done his lesson.
Yes. Then, as a result, actually, he is depriving victim of his or her
No,
lesson.
no, no, no. Victim wanted to experience that scenario, but both have to be aligned to the qualities. See, in your thinking and destiny, what do we learn? You have got reason and rightness.
Right.
Is it part of the rightness? Becomes the F1's test.
Mhm. Okay.
F2's test is whether he is able to stick to those rightness.
Okay.
Rajender ji.
Yeah, same question, sir. Like the victim is sending the telepathic message, but the
Correct.
other person, based on his or her free will,
Hmm.
may or might not accept. In that case, that act won't happen. Am I right?
No, act need not happen. Act is a
Right.
test scenario for both,
Okay.
and their alignment to the principles of the divine qualities. There has to
Yeah.
be rightness, there has to be reason, there has to be. So you will create a painful scenario for you. Do you really need to go? That is what Seth is saying. You don't have to go through the pain physically.
Yeah.
And also,
That is the
look,
first principle that he is explaining right at the beginning. He says you don't really have to go through that physically. You can
and
still
also Chandra,
experience
Yes.
it
yeah,
without going through
yeah,
that.
one more. I just want to mention one thing. The same scenario, in case if we see or hear someplace, we will learn from that also.
No, that is one. But when you think of yourself and your life in the physical world, F1,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the shameful existence, because it has got a social acceptability and inacceptability. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
to compromise your quality of life because of it? You
No.
are not expected to compromise and live life on this earth. So that is why he says, to summarize briefly, Seth said three major things about suffering. Things or lessons may be learned by
Yes.
some via suffering. Anything learned via suffering could have been learned without suffering.
Without.
Right? The ultimate
Yes.
lesson of suffering is that suffering is not necessary.
Yes.
So this becomes the objective of the difference that you have introduced testing F1 and F2. Got
Yes.
it?
That, see, I
Yeah.
agree. See, creating a scenario is one thing, and backing off. Not only that, and also by watching some scenarios, we also learn. Oh, okay, we should
Correct.
learn.
No, again, no. My contention is even that watching or hearing
Yeah.
that scenario, right,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
itself is another failure of F1, F2, right? The test.
Yeah,
So
probably.
is it
Mm-hmm.
physically necessary is the question.
No, no. That's what he's saying. You know,
Correct.
even though, yes, without
Right.
suffering, you can also
That is
learn.
the only reason why I gave that answer. Saying
Yes.
that even there, if it happens, even if you are able to hear about it, it is not
Yes.
acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Let others talk. I think. Okay.
No, whoever has got a question, everyone gets educated. See, this is how the Sajjana Sangatya works. When I came in, I said last time also we discussed, so what is there for us to discuss?
Yes.
But now we have had at least the last 20 minutes we have discussed well.
And amazing, especially when I was listening to the Hitler killing so many people, the way he was justifying, if that scenario, it wouldn't have happened, people will go further much more using nuclear bombs.
Correct. So the
He said
destruction could be far more.
far more.
So sometimes what happens is because of the incident, people learn. And then
Yeah.
So either way you learn. That's what he's trying to say.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because of the nationalism, this has happened, and that's why people had to be very careful. This is the lesson a lot of people learned, he's saying.
Correct. Yeah, next question.
So why would this is all like based on like you create your own reality, but why
Yes.
would anybody wants to create such reality to that extreme? So I mean, yes, when we hear in the news or something, yes, a thought passes to us. So are we, can we say like by listening to more to these type of news, are we creating a reality too? Can we do that? Or like are people
No.
just with their
See.
own extreme thoughts created this reality and that like
No. See, when I say you have to learn the 360 degrees of a divine quality, okay, is the extreme part of the divine quality? But you have to guide your life. See, suppose you become qualified, right? You have completed all the 35 lessons. You are going to be given the responsibility of administering law and justice in one region. Okay, in one region is one planet or one star or one galaxy or whatever it is, which becomes as the expansion happens, we all go into that role one day or the other when we have completed, right? If you have not got the ability to define the righteousness and administer the quality, without this exposure, you wouldn't get that. So that becomes part of the lesson that you have to learn. What are you learning? You are learning leading the life aligned to the divine qualities. Divine qualities has its extremes, which can fall into the bucket of unacceptability and inacceptability, both. Right? So that is the reason why you choose these. So that the evolution is 360 degrees complete. Are you getting the point, Ratnam? Yeah. Go ahead. Ratnam, ma'am, you are muted.
Yeah. Please unmute, ma'am.
Ratnagaru.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. So I'm saying, so every
Yeah.
soul has to go through these lessons, 35 lessons. So
Yes.
are you saying like in every soul at one point or the other went through some kind of extreme scenarios to
Yes.
learn that, or to get to the
Yes.
exposure after that kind of
See,
experience?
that lesson has to be completed. Whether it is physical or otherwise is a different question. That is the point that Seth is highlighting in this example. Does it
Oh,
have to be physical?
oh, it not necessarily has to be physical, every time.
Exactly. That is the point he is making.
Got it.
So you don't need the manifestation of these two qualities. Without that also, right, one can learn. You don't have to be having a victim come harmer or perpetuator scenarios built into your role. Even if it is there, you've got free will. No, free will is nothing but beyond, like everywhere we learn, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is the root cause of the suffering.
So we don't need to go through practical all the time. We can still
Exactly, you don't.
learn the theoretical subject and get
No, actually,
hand
sir,
of.
I want to say this, okay? There is a difference between intellectually knowing things and physically knowing things.
No, but
A very simple
everything, but
example
when
is,
it comes to suffering, does it have to be physical? That is the question.
yes, that's what I'm trying to tell. Let me give you a very simple example.
Hmm.
If your car does not does not start in front of your car in your house, it is not a problem. You call AAA and then you go into your house and sit and wait.
Hmm.
But if your car stops in the middle of the highway with a
Hmm.
4-lane highway,
Hmm.
okay, now imagine the kind of fear, the jittery, and all that you go through. That is a
Correct,
difference
sir.
between
No, but then
physically.
that scenario, you give me the F1 and F2 perspectives in that scenario.
So in case of when it is just at your home, you probably don't
No,
care
you are
when you,
talking home. I am talking about you are stuck on the highway.
yeah, stuck on the highway, you run through so many thoughts, like in terms of
No,
what can
you will
possibly
go through
happen.
those thoughts, but you are experiencing those scenarios, right? You are not becoming a
Right.
victim to that scenario. You will go through that, but are you getting out of your car on that scenario to see the manifestation of your thought process?
There are people who did that. There are people who did not.
Correct. So they went through they did not utilize the combination of F1 and F2 in understanding that entire learning.
Okay. Yeah.
F1, F2 is reality. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through F1 and forget that there is F2? Because there are two parties that is creating that scenario, not one party.
Mm.
The scenario is there. No one is questioning the scenario. But
Yeah.
if somebody would probably be there who will say, who will create a stop to the other vehicles which are coming so that this vehicle can be helped. So many situations are there of that kind also. Just take the example of the dog and the school bus.
Right.
Right. I mean, only thing is the scenario, the artifacts of the scenario are changing. The scenario is one and the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
See, in
everyone
that,
has to learn
yeah,
the lesson in leading life.
see, in that scenario, there are multiple things can happen. Either if you don't have enough distance, you can hit the car in the front. Or because of your thought process, okay, I had to be careful, with that positive thought, probably you can come out of that situation, and other people also feel that, oh, okay, we need to slow down, and he is having,
Suppose you give your hazard signal.
yeah,
Will
hazard
people
signal, and
respond?
then
But I've had
slowly
that
they will.
situation when I was driving at 120 miles an hour in UK. I had that. And immediately I could see that the entire caravan of the vehicles I was in the middle of the caravan. Otherwise, I wouldn't drive at that speed. When the limit is 90, how will I go at 120? Right? So I was in the middle of the caravan. This situation happened. I put my hazard light and started coming to the left, and everyone moved to accommodate the scenario. Right? So you have all the artifacts available to you to utilize and convey the danger. Or suddenly you have to brake in a caravan. Everyone puts their hazard light. So this happens on the motorways. No, good question actually. So
Actually, it's a
basically,
good.
all his contention in this entire chapter itself is you have F2, you have F1. How are you going to align to the qualities of the purpose?
So in that situation, not to blame others, like other cars or anybody. Just
Correct.
think that this is for me to learn something. I had to come out of this wisely. I think that is what we had to do.
Correct. And
Normally,
that
we
is
try
not
to
grow
blame.
also. Yeah. So that is why he says, wherever there is a victimhood, abuse, etc., please remember that there is two perspectives which come into play.
People.
You have
Yes.
F1, F2. utilize them to come out of it successfully.
Let's go
So
to the
they
next
both
chapter.
they both
Yeah.
are interlinked, right, sir? F1 and F2.
F1 plus F2 is equal to reality.
Reality. Yeah.
See,
Cannot be
for any
one
two
only one.
parties has to be there
Yeah.
Right.
for that situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But only the problem is we only see F1 what he is doing, but F2
Mm.
is unconsciously whoever he or she agreed.
Right. But again, I mean, I was just thinking how karma will affect in this scenario. Like in
There is nothing like karma affecting you. All it means is basically it is a lesson complete, it is a lesson incomplete.
It's a learning
The
process.
moment
It is
you
a
leave your physical body, the role of karma is lesson complete, lesson incomplete.
yeah.
Okay? Do I have to
Yeah.
complicate the matters for you to understand?
No, I
The,
think
the
So-
wisdom has to show up there, right? Like if they don't want to go through practical experience and they can learn through theoretical knowledge, the same incident if they have to learn, the wisdom has to, come into that assistance at
Exactly.
that
The
specific time.
consciousness has to go up basically.
See, that
Yeah.
is why Sajjana Sangatyam and reading books, we are getting the wisdom without going through some of the physical incidents or physical circumstances.
Correct.
We learn the lessons.
and also I feel like these kind of discussions will help us if just in case, if we come across this kind of situation.
Yeah.
So we'll recollect it and then you'll act
Yes.
accordingly.
No, basically, end of the day, it will become imbibed into your lifestyle, one way or the other. And people, old people, retired people like me get an opportunity to kill time.
No, don't say that. We are all benefiting from whatever you're doing.
I am talking about my benefit. I am not saying we are not getting benefit. Every party is getting benefited.
Sir, your retirement came to a benefit to us.
Yeah.
We have to thank for your retirement then.
Yeah.
Because here also two parties involved.
Yeah.
For a good cause.
Yes.
But Chandra sir, if we are in constant touch with our higher self or subconscious,
Right.
and we are on the right path,
Yes.
yeah,
See, what is
then
your higher self? In simple terms, what is the understanding of higher self? Higher self is not something beyond us.
yeah,
It is ourselves. Right?
ourselves,
When
subconscious,
we are acting from the
Ego self.
under the purview of wisdom,
yeah,
then it is higher self. Basically, anyway, I'm going to talk about this in the unified. We are existing in one way or the other as energy in
yes,
12
Dimensions.
dimensions.
yeah,
Right? Now, to the fourth dimension, third dimension is fourth dimension becomes the higher self for the third dimension. Right? But
yeah,
third dimension, fourth dimension is part and parcel of being under the control of each other. So while third dimension you may physically want it, the fourth dimension emotionally has to give it to you.
yeah,
Right? Above that is your next dimension, fifth dimension, which is more spiritual in nature, wherein wisdom also has got together. The divine qualities are going to start manifesting in you. That is
yes,
going to control you. Yeah, right. Now,
yeah,
at the topmost is where the entire thing is being designed. If that at that stage itself you are able to start thinking, Then as you come down, you don't have any complications.
Yeah.
Right. So yes,
And
that is
also,
yeah.
one more thing, don't think it is someplace higher, because he always says in other, some several books always says, imagine like Russian dolls, or like one big, one small doll. Around that, several dolls are there. You remember the dolls which we keep, one into we go, one goes into the other one, the bigger one. And the same way, we also have these bodies around us, but we don't see other bodies because they are at higher frequency.
Yeah.
We always think, oh, okay, there is another loka or someplace else. It is, this is, yes, this is, yeah. So we are actually the smallest one is our physical.
Correct. Yes. No. This can't be clicked and enlarged. Okay. Very good enough. This serves the purpose. You're able to see this is the physical body, the what do you call the astral body, the
Yeah.
mental body, and so on. This becomes your highest self. Then 1 degree lesser, 1 degree lesser, 1 degree lesser, 1 degree lesser. Right? So to
And
this
more
fellow, this is the
denser.
higher self, to this fellow, this is the higher self, and so on. Right? But all of
Yeah.
these, we have evolved and we have come to the fifth stage, but we still have all the divine qualities qualified in the various lives, the wisdom that we have forgotten, that is your higher self today.
Yeah.
This is only 8-dimensional
That is
diagram.
why,
This you think about 12 dimensions.
see, that is why now remember that every time they are talk about like we live multidimensional, we are multidimensional being. That is what this is.
Yeah.
Like we are not separate. Around us, all these layers are there. It is like
That is why I keep using the example. If you walk into a room, is there dust?
we don't
You
see,
will
but
not
it is
find
there.
it. You won't find it. But you run a vacuum cleaner, you will get a heap of dust. That entire
And
heap
same
is
thing,
dust. Correct.
and same thing like a bacteria virus, even though we don't see with our eyes, but we can see under the microscope.
Yeah. So who is controlling whom?
The
Is
same.
bacteria controlling the rest of the systems in the body, or is the body systems able to withstand? That becomes your acid test as far as the pathological report is concerned.
Yeah.
Good. Good questions are coming up. Yeah. Next.
All these Shiva and Krishna, all will they will be the 12th dimension, right? Like
Yes.
all of it.
Including your higher self is 11th dimension. Your or 10th dimension. 11th dimension is all your archangels and all. Right? Or
Oh,
you call them
Yes.
the Yakshinis, Gandharvas, Kinnarasas, and so on and so forth. In the Hindu culture, you call them that way. But every culture has got those entities or representatives.
Different names.
Correct.
spirit guides
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12th dimension, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, all these the
Hmm.
higher
Right.
That is why if you listen to
enlightened.
that lecture that that audio book that I posted, right?
Yes,
He
sir.
is calling it
Deepak.
mantras. Mantras are vibrations, energy and vibrations again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He even
Yeah.
says that as Shiva, the ultimate, is dancing and moving around, he has created all those Sanskrit syllables.
Because that energy movement.
Exactly. So each
Hmm.
one has got a fundamental frequency. That frequency, as it is thickened, it becomes your name also. That is the source of your name. The vibration that you have chosen, right? That is embedded, encoded as your name. That is how, at the highest level also, the higher self has a name. You will
So
understand
that, yeah,
not straight away, but you'll have to extend your imagination. Just
right.
like F1, F2, right? There is that
Hmm.
learning from extension. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next question. We still have 18, how many minutes? 12 minutes, is it? Yeah. Minimum. So that
And
is
also
what
in
he's
this,
saying. Look at this. This example is wonderful.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And the same said, Robert said, Jane Roberts. Jane Roberts, he says that in one life, several in BC, she was somebody.
No,
He's
she was
quoting all
Seth
this.
herself.
Yeah, Seth her. Yes, yes. Seth.
Seth
Seth
says
herself.
that Jane was once
Yeah,
Seth in a past life. In
yeah.
the
Jane
fourth
was
century.
once Seth in a past life. Yeah,
And
4th
that
century
Jane,
BC.
yeah. This is weird stuff, isn't it? Pretty amazing and miraculous, actually.
See, each personality keeps sprouting probable realities and personalities, and the universe does on a non-physical level to us keep infinitely expanding.
So as
See,
it
that
is
is,
expanding, yeah,
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. Any question on this topic? This we actually discussed when Ramakrishna sir
Yeah,
went
yeah, yeah.
back.
We can go further. Yeah, this is all over. The next one.
And that's why I wrote this sentence here. Always think from F1 and F2 to get a
Mm,
comprehend.
yes,
Yeah. This is also discussed.
yeah.
Animal also even by that we have discussed the animal also. I think this is the last one. Yeah. This audio is, I think, posted or she's
Until 270.
pardon?
Until we got the page 270.
No. Even these I have created and sent it to her to upload into the drive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because except for the last chapter on love, the rest of it is completed.
Okay.
See how universe really helps us. Universe set the Black Friday for us to acquire this tool. We captured that. We are now proceeding further.
It's amazing. I mean, the quality of the audio is very clear.
Very
Only
good.
the thing is, yeah,
You know,
we can
we can
pause.
even change the rate of English. We can change the voice. There are so many other options. And at a higher
Like,
level,
like,
you can change it to represent your voice itself. That you can clone your voice. The entire lecture will be in your voice.
my God.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very good.
that's quite helpful. What, Sukumar, you have managed to come in the last minute? You are marking your attendance, is it?
Sorry, sir. Yep.
No, no.
Sir, you should try with your voice because the punctuations become
And I
very
can't
clear.
afford it. I can't afford $250 for this. And I don't think it is worth it. Because the objective is served. My lecture I will always dictate and record it. You are anyway getting it, no? It is being streamed live, I think.
Yes, yes.
So my voice also is there.
We are recording, sir.
Yeah,
We'll upload it on YouTube.
yeah. So yeah, next question.
And also, I was listening to Thinking in Destiny,
Hmm.
the audio.
Hmm,
Wow.
hmm.
Oh, it is also very good.
No, this
The
one,
way.
this Wikidot.
Hmm.
That website has got the entire
Yeah.
thing, but it is not.
Yes.
So what I did was I downloaded that, converted it to Word document, and from there uploaded it and converted it.
Wow. So this is all like without repetitions, the summary of the Wikidot. That
Yes.
yeah,
All the
very nice.
repetitions eliminated and simple.
Yes. Because I was listening to Noetic Destiny, it's amazing. Very well. I know, like it's much easier for new people
For
to
anybody.
understand. Anybody, yeah.
And the beauty is it can be broken down into segments.
Yes,
You don't need to know the previous thing to understand this.
yes, yes.
Right?
Now you can easily take the new sessions, using this. It's
Yeah.
much easier.
No, in fact, I have started making the maps of it, looking into the rest of the stuff.
Okay. That's very nice. I was just going through
Even
yesterday.
here, the people will get questions like, who is this? Actually, Surekha, you can stop the recording because what I'm going to talk now is not on the same.
Yeah.
Okay.